Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Darrell Brooks saga. Today, we're going to continue with day four. We're going to continue with the witnesses that were on the parade and how he traveled through all the parade. Um, and just if you guys would like to comment, I would like suggestions on what other cases would you like to see. So, if you guys have any suggestions to a newer case that you will want to see, I will cover it. No problem. So let's get right into the video.
The Blazers youth baseball program.
Yes, I'm.
Overruled.
It's
Yes, I
background.
currently serve as the president.
Are you also a coach with the Blazers?
I am.
Okay. So direct your attention to November 21st of last year. Were the Blazers part of the City of Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Yes, we were.
Were two of your kids there, Caden, Cayden, and Riley, Ryle?
Yes.
And which one of those, does either one of those play with the program?
Caden plays on my team.
Okay, and Riley was there for,
Support.
Okay.
She used to play in the program.
okay, and then you had a third child there.
Yes.
Was there a group immediately after the Blazers team in the parade?
Objection. Relevant.
Overruled.
Did you hear any type of commotion or anything that drew your attention to behind you during the parade route?
Yes, I remember hearing some sort of scream. Couldn't tell if it was part of the parade or not. Turned over my left shoulder. And I saw people running, or heard people running and lots of screaming. So I turned around again, and that's when I saw a red SUV coming at us. And I pulled my daughter Maya out of the way.
Maya was next to you?
Yes.
And if you can recall, was the vehicle in the middle of Main Street?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer, sir.
From what I remember, yes.
It sounds like you were behind the truck. You said Caden was to your left, which would be, and I'm horrible at directions, but that would be the south side of the street. Was it coming on the south side of the street, the middle of the street, or the north side of the street, which would have been to your right?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled. You may answer.
From what I remember, it was
It's not hearsay if he was there. I don't know how that's hard to understand.
middle, and then it moved to the left to go around our truck. I was frantically looking for my kids. I watched the SUV continue driving down the parade route, swerved back to the right after it passed our truck. I was screaming, "Where's Riley?" I ran around the truck a couple times, and that's when I saw Jackson on the ground and stopped by him.
What observations did you make of Jackson?
Jackson was motionless on the ground, eyes open, didn't appear to be aware.
Did you find out that he died as a result of being struck?
I did.
Hearsay.
Overruled. This answer may stand.
Do you know if Caden got struck by the red SUV?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, he did.
Did you see Jackson or Tucker Sparks get struck by the SUV?
Sitting here today, I do not remember that.
Okay. Did you give a statement sent out by the victim witness program, and then you would have sent it back? Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
And was that something that you created?
Yes, those are my words.
Okay. And is it correct that that form says, after that I saw the car drive past us on the left, striking two of our players, Tucker and Jackson Sparks?
Yes.
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
It's what he said.
You can see that. That's hearsay.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
Thank you. I'm assuming that the event was fresher in your mind when you gave that statement versus a year later?
Yes, I believe everything in that statement is accurate.
Okay, thank you. And do you know if Jackson Sparks was injured? I'm sorry, Tucker Sparks.
Yes, he was.
Okay. Do you know what injuries he had?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
I remember the most significant was brain bleed or a head injury.
Now, after the car went to the left side of the Blazers truck, striking the kids, did you see the path that it took?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, I remember it going back to the right side of the road after that.
So after it passed the truck,
Yes.
do you know approximately how far Jackson was in front of the Blazers truck when you went and you talked to his father, Aaron, who was with Jackson?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
I don't remember.
Okay. Can you estimate approximately how fast it was going before when you first took notice of the red SUV when you looked back?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
I remember thinking, this is a parade. It's 25-mile-an-hour speed limit here. If I were in my neighborhood and a car was going that fast, I would be yelling at it, so faster than the speed limit.
And I'm assuming when you're in a parade, you're not going, although the speed limit on that road might be 25 miles per hour, you're not going 25 miles per hour. Would that be a correct statement?
Absolutely.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled. His answer may stand.
Not hearsay.
So, did you see Jackson a second time on Main Street?
Yeah.
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Probably more on the upper part. It has names: Josh Craner, Riley Rogers, Caden Rogers, Jackson Sparks, and Tucker Sparks. There's a line on the left side of that diagram that goes down to the map where it leads to a yellow star. Do you see that?
Yes.
Would that be the area in which each of those people were struck by the red SUV?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, it appears accurate.
I'm now going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 148. I'm going to have it just shown in front of you first. Have you seen this video before?
I have.
And does it accurately depict what occurred on November 21st of last year, shortly before, during, and after the red SUV struck the Blazers?
Yes.
Okay. Permission to publish and admit Exhibit 148 into evidence.
Objection.
Objection is noted. Exhibit 148 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
On what grounds?
You
Sir,
mean what
it's
ground?
approximately 3 minutes and 22 seconds. I'm going to play that entire video.
What is the relevance of showing the entire video?
Because it's what's
Objection is
happened.
noted. It's overruled.
What grounds?
Relevance.
What grounds?
That is the grounds. Relevance.
He's asking the grounds for the grounds. Yeah, I'm not showing the video. Not showing the video, thank you. It's horrible. And I haven't seen it, but I know it's horrible. Look at that. Just look at... It's awful. It was a Christmas parade.
And finally, I'm going to show you Exhibit 31. I'm not going to have it published until I show you a couple
now you
seconds
feel
of this
bad,
to see
huh?
if you can
You
indicate
cannot
that this
see
is a true
what you
representation
did.
of what happened on November 21st.
I see it, and it is.
Okay.
Or maybe he's
Exhibit
asleep.
31 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
And if we can play it. And it was played until the end at 27 seconds. Does that accurately depict the path of the vehicle as it was striking the Blazers members?
Yes.
Nothing further, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here. And I'm not gonna make any jokes or anything, but I just want I just want to say this guy doesn't have a heart. Like right now you're watching him and you see him all with his face down and oh I'm sad and whatever. But let's see how he handles the guy that's actually testifying about the kid that he took down. Like, I want you to process that. He's actually facing the death of one person. And I want to see how he handles it.
All right, I'm going to take a mid-morning break at this point, about 15 to 20 minutes. All rise for the jury, please.
And that's acting. That's just acting. This is acting for the jury. He doesn't feel anything.
We will go back on. Their record appearances are as they were before. I will have the jury brought out, and we'll continue with the questioning of this witness.
Judicial determination you made about the jurisdiction.
I thought I was very clear, sir.
So will proof be validated?
Your request is denied.
That tissue's drier than the desert.
What legal basis, Your Honor?
The record stands, sir.
And he's crying while he's
Judicial determination.
doing this whole subset stuff that doesn't have any relevance and has
Overly
already
was
been
put on the record
discussed.
earlier, sir.
So that is a judicial determination.
Yes. He is the judicial power, and she made a
Mr. Brooks, you
determination.
may start your questioning of this witness then.
All right, here we go, boy. Show me what you got. Show me the respect you're gonna show to this guy.
Just a second,
Nah, no, you're not. You're acting for the jury. Just ask the questions.
I'm sorry about that. I just needed a second.
You had 15 minutes. There's no tears there. You're not crying. He's an actor. A bad
I
one.
apologize to the witnesses.
There's only one witness.
Emotional right now for me, so I apologize to the court as well for the delay.
Ask a question.
Can you recall what time you arrived at the parade that evening?
I don't remember exactly.
Do you recall how long you intended to stay?
Through the parade till it was done.
You stated in testimony earlier that you did not see the vehicle strike the children that were in front of you. Would that be fair to say?
I said sitting here today, I don't remember that.
You said something to that effect.
No.
Would that be fair to say?
You'd have to be more clear.
You said something to that effect of what you just said.
To what effect?
That you, sitting here today, that you do not recall seeing anyone struck ahead of you.
That's correct.
But then you also stated that you did see who was struck ahead of you.
What?
Is that a question?
Would that be fair to say?
In relation to what?
In relation to someone being struck in front of you
When I was there or the video? What are you talking about?
at any time. When you
Be specific. No.
When I wrote my statement, I wrote what I remembered at that time.
So would it be fair to say that as you sit here today that anything about your statement may have changed?
No. It just
Nothing
memory,
has
dude.
changed.
So your testimony here today would be accurate to what you reported?
Everything I said has been accurate.
Do you recall saying in your interview with the DIC that your 11-year-old son and 9-year-old daughter suffered minor injuries in the event?
I remember saying they were injured.
Do you recall saying that the injuries were minor?
No.
What relevance does it have?
Not direct the witness to the statement?
No.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes, right here.
Is it his statement or
No.
a summary?
It's a summary.
It's not a statement. It is a statement from DCI, an agent from DCI, in which the DCI agent spoke with Mr. Rogers and wrote down what he believed was said to him. It was not signed by Mr. Rogers. It was not reviewed by Mr. Rogers. Therefore, I would object to this being characterized as this witness's statement.
Grounds.
If he would like to call the DCI agent, then he may do so.
Grounds.
What grounds? She's telling you
To
what to
sustain the
do.
objection as to the form of the question, rephrase, if you're able or desire.
Do you recall stating to
Again, it's not a statement.
whomever interviewed you from the DCI that the injuries were minor?
No.
Any reason why they would report that you said that?
Well, how would she?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
Yeah.
Any reason why they would believe that that's what you said?
How would he know?
Reported grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Calls for speculation on the part of the witness. Sustained.
Do you remember giving a prepared statement at 10:45 a.m. on 11/22 of 2021?
I do.
Do you recall the gist of what you prepared?
What?
Can you be more specific?
Specifically, that you heard commotion, turned around to see a stroller or something fall over about a block and a half behind us.
Yes,
You recall making that statement?
I do.
A stroller.
About how many people would you estimate was at the parade that day?
I would guess the thousands.
In total, yeah.
And you were able to see something fall over from a block and a half away amidst thousands of people.
Yes.
Yes. They weren't in the street. They were on the sides.
And you don't recall what that was that you saw?
No.
Any reason as to why you would name what you saw fall if you don't recall it?
He doesn't recall it now.
I described it.
So you did see something fall.
Objection asked and answered.
Oh my god.
Asked and answered. Sustained.
Do you recall what the item was?
Objection.
Grounds.
Asked and answered.
Grounds.
Yeah, you already talked about
Sustained.
the item.
Do you recall about what time you heard that shots were fired?
After watching the video, it's about 3 minutes, 2-3 minutes after the red SUV drove by us.
Do you recall the day of the incident,
Clarify, dude.
not the video?
I remember it was after the vehicle drove by us.
What did you do after you heard that shots were fired?
I looked for all of my children again and made the decision to take 2 of them into the antique store.
About how long did it take you to look for everybody before you went into the antique store?
Before or after the shots fired comment?
After the shots fired,
I think I did another lap around the car and then around our Blazer's truck and then grabbed my kids and left.
were you able to retrieve everyone at that time?
No.
No, he said 2.
You recall who was missing?
Riley was missing.
Did you leave the antique shop anytime after you had gathered your loved ones into the antique shop?
Yes.
Do you remember what you did when you left the antique shop?
I remember
that
at some
matter?
point seeing Jackson again on the ground.
Did you continue looking for the loved one that you missed before you gathered the other ones into the antique shop?
To the best of my recollection.
You don't recall for sure?
It was pretty.
Okay. Okay, I need to pause this because I know Darrell Brooks. I know there's been some funny moments in this case. There's laughing at what he thinks that he's right, you know? But it just this guy it gets hard sometimes because this guy is questioning about this guy about why he's not looking for his kid that's missing, and that's not relevant, and it's horrible. These videos get really hard sometimes. It's really hard.
chaotic. I was looking constantly for my missing daughter.
Were you injured in any way?
No physical injuries.
You have one one of your daughters, Maya, with you that day. Would that be fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Was she injured in the event?
I threw her to the ground to get her out of the way, so she had some scrapes.
And would that result from you throwing her to the ground?
He just
don't
said
know.
that.
Do you recall if anyone else besides your children who were injured?
I remember lots of people who were injured.
Yes.
Do you recall
Yes. He just said
I
that.
just answered that.
specifically? Do you remember who?
Jackson
besides your
Sparks.
children?
You want me to list all of the names that were injured?
Just rough estimate. That you recall.
That I recall, 10 to 15 people that I saw.
That you actually observed.
Yes.
Did you render any assistance to any of those people?
No.
He's not a doctor.
Any reason why not?
My daughter was missing.
So it'd be fair to say at that moment your concern was your daughter that you didn't retrieve to go into the antique shop.
Of course.
My concern was for everyone that was just struck by the vehicle.
What kind of question is that?
Including your daughter that was missing, right?
I was concerned about her missing, yes.
Did you file any reports other than just interview?
What do you mean by
Like an
reports?
injury report of any kind?
Just what you had in front of you that you were reading from. That was my statement.
No. Did you file any injury reports or
Objection, that's a big question.
grounds?
Sustained as to the form of the question, sir. Please
At
repeat.
any time did you write a claim? Gonna do his typical questions. We still need the
What I'm
plaintiff's
asking
question.
is, usually if there's an injury, you will file a complaint. To the best of your recollection, did you file any complaint from the incident?
I wouldn't consider it a complaint. I filed some paperwork saying that my children were injured, yes.
Do you recall if that was a complaint?
I don't know.
He just said no.
Was it a claim in any sort of way?
Yes.
Do you recall what the claim was?
It was with the Victim Assistance Program.
And what does that consist of? What are their resources in pursuant to the complaint that you filed or claim that you filed, right?
It was to help with any medical bills that arose out of this situation.
So it would be fair to say that you had a financial interest in this incident.
Okay. Oh my god. No. Like this freaking person, this guy is trying to say that he's testifying for money. That because the program helped this pay his bills, his medical bills that he caused. That he has a financial interest in the case. He didn't ask for you to run his kids over, my guy.
Objection.
Grounds.
Mischaracterizes the testimony.
Grounds. I believe it's relevant to the fact that bills were needed to be paid. It's relevant.
Overruled. He may answer.
I was looking to get the medical bills covered, yes.
So would that be fair to say that you had a financial interest?
I would say sitting here today, I didn't care if it got approved or not. I was trying to get assistance for the medical bills.
So if it hadn't gotten approved, would you have been able to do it yourself, or would you have seeked
Oh
to
my
do it yourself?
god.
Objection's relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained. The question is vague.
Would you have seeking?
Speaking.
Would you have paid the medical bills yourself,
Of course.
Yes.
regardless to price?
Yes. It's his kids.
I generally pay my bills.
And specifically that matter, not the rest of your bills. Specifically that matter.
Objection's relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained. Move on, Mr. Brooks.
Would you consider yourself an injured party in this case?
You already asked that.
No.
Were you aware that you might be called to testify in this case?
Eventually, yes.
Did you seek to testify in this case?
No.
May I ask why you agreed to testify if you didn't seek to?
Relevance.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Do you recall who informed you via subpoena to testify?
I received a subpoena from the DA's office, yes.
You did?
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Are you aware of the plaintiff in this case?
Objection. Relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Have you read a complaint pursuant to this case at any time?
Not that I remember, no.
Here we go with the plaintiff stuff.
Do you understand that for charges to be issued that it has to be a claim, therefore it has to be a plaintiff?
Objection.
Grounds.
Okay, so first of all, the
Grounds.
grounds are relevancy.
Those are the grounds.
It's not relevant. That would be the
You
grounds.
also have to state the grounds.
Hold on. Let
He
her
already said
get
that.
her position out, Mr. Brooks.
And it mischaracterizes the former testimony.
It does
Sustained
not.
as to both grounds. Under 90611, move on, please.
So you're not sure if there's a plaintiff?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Sustained.
She said move on.
Have you ever had any interaction with the plaintiff?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Cut him off.
Are you aware who brought charges in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
If you're not sure of a complaint, how can you be sure of the charges in this case?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, under 90611, please move on to a new topic, or your cross-examination will be shortened and cut off.
Your Honor, with all due respect, that's
Cut him
every
off.
question that I'm asking is relevant. It pertains to the plaintiff in this matter.
Yeah, that's
that
not relevant.
Seems to be nowhere
Mr. Brooks, you're
found.
making a legal argument. We'll take that up outside the presence of the jury. Move on.
I believe the jury deserves to know
Cut him off.
who the plaintiff is in this matter. That's very
They know.
relevant to the case. How can they
The state of
rule
Wisconsin.
on something when they don't
Mr.
even know
Brooks?
who the plaintiff is?
Please, move on. Next question, or I will turn it back over to the state for redirect.
Were you able to catch a glimpse of the license plates?
License
No.
plates.
Do you recall if the vehicle had any tinted windows?
I don't remember.
About how far from the vehicle were you when it passed you?
From the red SUV,
About how far from the vehicle were you when it passed you?
can you tell me which vehicle you're talking about?
How far from the vehicle were you when it passed you? The vehicle that went around your Blazers vehicle.
The red-
I guess I would ask the defendant to be more clear as to what vehicle
At what time?
and when it went around. Like at the beginning of the parade,
I was
before it
just-
struck his kids.
I was just clear. I said the vehicle that went around his Blazers
Sustained
vehicle.
At
as
what
to the
time?
form of the question. Please rephrase.
The
At any
vehicle
time.
that you observed, well, rather I'll say the vehicle that you observed approaching. About how far from it were you when it passed you?
Objection, just to clarify, is he saying the red SUV that this witness has described as that red SUV was approaching him or some other vehicle?
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Well, I thought he was clear when he said that there
No,
was only
he
one
wasn't.
vehicle.
Question, Mr. Brooks.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
You have to be clear with your question. It's
Well,
vague.
he
As
said
to
it
the
was only
word
one.
vehicle, you need to be clear which vehicle you're questioning the witness
The
about.
vehicle that was approaching. That he
Which
said
At
was
one?
what
approaching.
point in time, what color is the vehicle, something like that, sir.
The vehicle that you observed strike anyone. How
There you
close
go.
to you were? How
When?
close were you to that vehicle when it passed you?
The red SUV was about 10 feet probably from me.
And you didn't see the driver,
No.
correct?
Correct.
Did you see anyone else in the vehicle?
I did not look in the vehicle.
Would it be fair to say that 10 feet from a vehicle is pretty close?
Subjective.
Relevant.
What would you say? Would you say that's pretty close?
It depends what you're talking about.
Would you say that 10 feet is pretty close to a vehicle?
Depends. If they're driving, yes.
He doesn't know what to do with that answer.
Would it be fair to say that that's close enough to be able to see who is driving?
No.
It depends on many other factors.
What would those factors be?
Eyesight, windows up, down.
If
If
the
they're looking
vehicle
at the
is coming
vehicle.
at you.
I'm assuming it would be fair to say that you were definitely looking at the vehicle, correct? Would that be fair to say?
When?
When it was approaching and when it passed?
Yes.
Any reason why you would not try to identify the driver?
Because my children were about to be struck.
There you go.
Any reason why you would not try to see if you can catch a license plate number?
No.
Because people had just been hit.
So it would be fair to say because of what you was observing, that would be the reason why you didn't try to get a description of the driver or the license plate.
My priority at the time was not identifying the driver.
His kids.
Sir, you had indicated that you submitted a claim to the
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut off this video right now because actually I got upset and I'm sorry. It truly irks me all the questions that he asked to a father of when his kids got struck by him. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow. I'm sorry to cut it short, but I'll come back tomorrow and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.